Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Amagyanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakkhunimilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Siguru Sijutapadakammalam Sigurun Vaisnavanam Cha Nirupam Sagrajatam Sagana Siragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Niradha Krishna Padan Sagana Litam Sri Visakham Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopishya Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrivasya Krupa Sindhuvaivacha Patitanam Pavanabhya Vaishnavabha Namo Nama Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत राधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. So today we will be discussing the way to advance in spiritual life. Today is also the auspicious appearance day of Gopal Bhatt Goswami, one of the six Goswami. So we can see the, we can understand from the life of Gopal Bhatt Goswami that how one can advance in spiritual life. Actually, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, when he was childhood, he came in contact with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in South Indian tour. In South Indian tour, he went to a place called Srirangam, the headquarters of the Sri Sampradaya, Srirangam, and he met one of the great devotee, leader of this temple, Pujari, Venkata Bhatt. And because it was rainy season, he stayed there for 4 months. And during this 4 months, he got the association with his son. His name is Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Gopal Bhatt. That time he was Gopal Bhatt. So by that, the 4 months of association when he was a child, and that transformed the Gopal Bhatt life, and he became a Goswami. And he came to Vrindavan, associated with Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. In this way, you can see the life of Gopal Bhatt Goswami. In this way, he became a celebrated Goswami in Vrindavan. And not only that, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Ramanji manifested. He had got 12 salagram, and he used to worship them. And he was thinking that many rich person, they used to come and offer ornaments, dresses, cloth for the deity, because he did not have any deities, only saligram. So he was always thinking that if I would have deity, then I would have donned the cloths, decorate the deities, So thinking such a way that Lord manifested as Radha Ramanji from one of the saligram, one of the Damodar Saligram. He has so many 12 Saligram, one of the Saligram called Damodar Saligram, and Radha Ramanji manifested. So we can know that how the association of the devotees, pure devotee, particularly association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mercy, one can become perfect in his life. So we now start this, how the way to advance in spiritual life. That is very important things. As Prabhupada always says, the secret of success is association of the devotees, pure devotees. Unless one associates with pure devotee, one cannot attain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that when teaching to Sanat Rupa Goswami, that there are so many billions of living entities are there. So many living entities. We can see here that uh, the rarity of, it is stated in this verse says that ei brahmanda bhari ananta jivaganat 84 lakh joni kara hai brahmana. So in this universe there are limitless living entity, 8.4 million species, and all are wandering within the universe. There are 8.4 million species, not only human, there are fish, there are reptiles, and it is stated also categorized in Padma Purana that Jalaja Navalakshana Stavara Lakhyavimsati Kramya Rudra Sankhya Pakhinam Dasalakshana Trimsal Lakshani Pasava Chatul Lakshani Manusa. There are 900 million, 900,000 species living in water. There are 2 millions non-moving living entities, Thavara, such as tree, plant. There are also 1.1 million insect, reptile. There are 1 million species bird. As far as quadruped consider 3 million variety. There are 400,000 of human species. That is only 5%. So out of all this 8.4 million species of life inhabited in this earth, out of them only 5% of human. So this human form of life is very, very important. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say is very in other species there is no chance of understanding Krishna consciousness. There is no chance of make the life perfect. He say that the unlimited living entity can be divided into two divisions. One can move, that cannot move. Among living entities that can move, there are bird, aquatic animals. Clear instruction how the living entity live under the condition that tree, plant, stone cannot move. And there are moving also. And out of this moving and non-moving, there are also human being is there. तार मध्ये मनुष्य जाति अति अल्पतर तार मध्ये म्लेच्छ पुलिंद बौद्ध सवर. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, although the living entity known as human being are very small in quantity, only 5%. Out of 8.4 million species, there are 400,000. That means only 5%. That division may be still further subdivided. There may be cultured human being like Mlecha, Pulinda. There are many uncultured human beings like Mlechas, Pulinda, Bauddha, Savara. There are so many aborigines. You can see, you can go to the America, Africa, Australia also someplace where you can see the aborigines. There are Pulinda, Bauddha. They are uncultured, Mlecha. They do not know what is life. They are just like an animal life. So you can see the rarity of human life. We are speaking about way to advance in spiritual life. First of all, you should know that, first of all, this human life who has got the prerogative of understanding spiritual life is also very rare. And out of this, there are uncultured and the cultured. Among human beings, those who are follower of Vedic principle considered civilized. And almost half simply give the lip service while committing all kind of sinful activity against this principle. Such do not care for regulative principle. So there are civilized who follow. In India also the Hindus, although now most of them like lip service only. They just follow the, they just, not follow, they just conduct the festivals, just a matter of social gathering. They do not care for the regulative principle. What is the purpose of following it? Just a lip service. So among civilized also, the most of them are like lip service. They do not even, follow the regulative principle. And out of those who are following the regulative principle, and there are also very Veda Nishtha Madhye Ardheka Veda Mukhya Mane Veda Nishiddha Papa Kare Dharma Nahi Gane. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, among human beings, those who are follower of Vedic principle are considered civilized. Among these, half simply give lip service. They just give the lip service. And among the follower of Vedic knowledge, most are following the process of fruitive activity, distinguish between good and bad work. Out of many such sincere fruitive actors, there may be one who is actually wise. So if now further and further filtered, further and further, when you filter it, when you divide it in, you can find those most of them they are doing fruitive activity. They go to office, come back, enjoy the uh, get the salary and enjoy the life. They have no idea what is spiritual life. They do not know even. There's so much ignorance of spiritual life. Position is very, very, um, very rare. And out of them, there are somebody wise means somebody jnani. Jnani means intelligent. He knows. He wanted to try to know. Out of many millions such wise men, one may actually become liberated. Out of many millions such liberated, a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, very difficult to find. So there's a rarity of the pure devotee. Rarity even devotees also. There are people who are knowledgeable, who wanted to liberate, who want to try to get out from this material existence. They want to know the what is life, because material life means simply sense gratification. They do not know anything beyond that. It's decorating the dead body. Just like 3 days before America is invading or attacked Venezuela and kidnapped its president. This is nothing but decorating the dead body. They want to simply trying to be the leader of the society, trying to become materialistically very good position, because the dollar devaluation of dollar value, devaluation of dollar value, they want to make it some way and other their dollar value strong and make it rich, so that there is they can enjoy the deluxe edition of sense gratification. Whole idea is that how to materially advanced. Whole idea of all these operations, all these activities, abominable activities, all these unlawful activities is to materially advancement, material ameliorations. America want to be leader, he want to be rich, but this is decoration of the dead body. They do not know that what is the use of decorating a dead body. The body is already dead. You are decorating a dead body, there's no value. In India, there is a class of men called mochi. And when somebody dies, so they do very nice decoration, nice arrangement. Similarly, whole this material civilization, the modern civilization, nothing but a decoration of the dead body. Apranasya deha lokum ranjanam. So, however sophisticated environment, gorgeous arrangement America can make, or any country can make, or individually, collectively, anybody make, they cannot surpass the death. It is a matter of time. They cannot surpass the death by their so-called advancement of technology, advancement of power, with knowledge, with economic development, with scientific advancement, with having so much deadly weapons, atom bombs. Nobody. They have to die. They will lose it. They cannot maintain the status quo. Einstein, he died. Simply, what is this knowledge brain? Gone, zero. Now. So it's just a decoration of the dead body. So therefore, it is said that out of many millions, such a wise person, one may be liberated, means one may be understanding this real purpose of the life, to get out from this material existence. Get out from the activities of decorating the dead body. Prabhupada has written a very nice article, Back to God, a decoration of dead body. Without God, it's all decoration of dead body. They want to enjoy the kingdom of God without God. Apranasya deha lokum naranjan. So, therefore, those who are wise, they do know that this is all temporary. This whole world is temporary. It's a matter of time. Today, America is the leader. Tomorrow, America will not be there. Vanish. Russia, atom bombs are there. America will be finished. Russia will be finished. China will be finished. It's a matter of time. We have history witnessed. Just like British Empire was ruling all over the world, but now they are a bad economy. French colony, they have gone and they have come and gone into oblivion. It's a matter of time. Time is very powerful. Influence of time will make somebody powerful. Somebody. These are all temporary ups and downs. But real purpose is not these things, because we cannot maintain the status quo. Our real purpose is spiritual life, to get out from this material existence. This is real. Shastra say our real purpose is not this one, how to become materially advanced. It is stated in this verses that real problem of life is repetition of birth and death, which is like a wheel rolling repeatedly up and down. This wheel, however, completely stop when one is touched with Supreme Personality of God. Otherwise, it's just a whatever you do, it is a decoration of the dead body, useless. So, out of many such a wise person who knows how to get out, very rarely one may be succeed. One may succeed in getting out of material existence, mukta. And out of many such a liberated person, one is devotee of the Lord is very difficult. Who can be devotee? You can be get out from the jail, but one has to be elevated, like devotee of the Lord is very difficult to find. So therefore, the very, very rarity of human life and rarity to become a devotee of the Lord. So how we can get it? What is the process that one become a devotee? Although it is rare, Krishna says, "Manushyanam saharsesu kaschid yatati siddha tatam api siddhanam kaschid mam vedi." Very difficult. Out of thousands, one may know me, one may perfect, one may endeavor for perfect. Out of many perfectionists, one can understand me, one can become a pure devotee. So the process is there that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught to Rupa Goswami in the sense of the Sashwamedha Ghat, Varanasi, Prayagraj. He said that Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata. Now, question is how to advance in how to get that spiritual life and how to advance in spiritual life. Without spiritual life, as I told you, it is stated this a very nice verses in this regard that Bhagavat Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastram Japa Tapa Apranasya Deham Mandalam Lokum Rananjanjanam. For a person who is devoid of devotional service, birth in great family, great nation. I am American. Oh, I am so powerful country, the leader of all nations. No, supreme power. Knowledge of the revealed scripture, performance of austerity, penance, chanting of Vedic mantra are all like ornaments on the dead body. Such ornaments simply serve the concocted pleasure of general populace. Everybody clapping, oh, American did a very good thing. So how they so meticulously, kidnap a president of some country, bypassing all the securities and all, security, militaries, so many things. As like very what to say, adventurous and bravery. No, he say that lokam ranjanam is without this bhakti, all this ornament, all the decoration of the um, ornament on a dead body. Ornament on a dead body is nobody cares, useless actually. Narada Muni also stated like this: Achutya bhava varjitam, naiskramyam api achutya bhava varjitam, na sovate jnanam malam niranjanam, kutap punna sasad abhadram ishware, na charpitam karma yadapi akarman akarnam akaranam. Knowledge of self-realization, even though free from material affinity, does not look well devoid of conception of God. What then is the use of fruitive activity which are naturally pained from very beginning and transient by nature, if they are not utilized for devotional service? So-called power, so-called money, so-called technology, all these things is very painful and also transient. You see atom bomb. Atom bomb we created, but what happened? It destroyed. It destroyed Nagasaki, Hiroshima. So all this so-called endeavor is from the very beginning, it is painful. Because if you are not God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, you will utilize for the bad thing, for a wrong way. And also, it is transient by nature, because whole material world is bhuta bhuta praliyate. So-called your material aggrandizement, material amelioration, material advancement is just transient. And if they are not utilized for the devotional service, then it is completely, very, very, what you say, uh, does not look good. It's for destruction. It's very painful. We have seen that how painful. America become powerful nation due to their army, the air control, and all the things. And how what they are doing? They're simply dominating others, unlawfully dominating others. If anybody interferes the interest of the America, they are doomed. They were attacked. They are attacked. So therefore, without devotional service, devoid of devotional, everything looks very, very, it's like decoration of the dead body. So therefore, the bhakti has to become, bhakti is the most important, and that bhakti we cannot get without the mercy of a Krishna and a spiritual master, devotee. According to their karma, all living entity are wandering throughout the entire universe. Some of them are being elevated to upper planetary system, some are going down into lower planetary system. Out of many millions of wandering living entity, one who is fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with bona fide spiritual master by grace of Krishna. The mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of creeper of devotional service. So to attain the advance, the way to advance in spiritual life, first of all, we should get the seed of devotional service. And that is very rarity, very rare people wandering এইভাবে ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ভূমিতে কোনে। হ্যাঁ, ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ভূমিতে মানে we refer to whole universe or to cluster of many millions of universe, the innumerable planet, innumerable living entity. Upon those planets, in the air, in the water, there are millions, trillions of living entity everywhere. They are engaged in Maya, by Maya in suffering, and enjoying their fruitive activity life after life. So then, out of many these living entity, if one is actually fortunate, Bhagyavan means very fortunate, he comes in contact with bona fide spiritual master by Krishna's mercy. So usually one is very sincere. Krishna helps him to get him out, because Krishna always wants us to win. But the problem is that we are so adamant to lose. He is coming and speaking, Sarvadharman Prityada Mamekam Saranam Raja Ham Tvam Svapapebhyo Mokhyasami. So his whole idea is that he's coming and speaking to, he's coming and, conversing us, convincing us that please get out, please come to me. So if you are sincere, then Krishna always wanted. If we are silent, we do not want, we are adamant, then what Krishna? Krishna does not want to enforce upon us or interfere our so-called very minute freedom, independence. Therefore, when we are sincere to go back, just like a child is very sincere to study some music or some cricket, sports, then father wants to help him. Similarly, when you are sincere to go back or get out from this material existence, come back to Krishna, our real home, back to spiritual world, back to Godhead, that time Krishna helps and sends a spiritual master. Krishna helps in very different way. Krishna helps, it is stated that Krishna helps outwardly as a spiritual master, and Krishna helps inwardly as a spirit soul, sorry, super soul, Chaitya Guru. So in two ways, Krishna helps to help the living entity to get out from the clothes. It is stated in this verse. Uh, Externally, you appear in two features. Externally as Acharya, internally as Super Soul, to deliver the embodied living entity by directing him how to come to you. So this is Krishna's mercy. So by the mercy of the Krishna, you get a spiritual master. And when you act spiritual master, then you get the seed of devotional service. Then you have to, the process of advance in this, once you get this, just like you get a plant, you have to water the plant. Mali hone kare bijarapana sravana kirtana jale kare sechana. When a person receives the seed of devotional service, he should take care of it by becoming gardener, sowing the seed in the heart. If he waters the seed gradually by the process of Savanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting, the seed will begin to sprout. Just like you have got a sapling or a seed, then we have to water the seed every day. By watering the seed, what will happen? It will grow. Similarly, you have to hear and chant. To live with devotee or to live in a temple means associate with Shravanam Kirtanam process. Very important point. Temple means is a university of learning, understanding the God, science of God. Prabhupada says a university. When you live in a temple means associate with, to live with a temple, live in a temple means associate with Shravanam Kirtanam process. Just like in a university, there's an audience is there, students, the teacher is there, teacher teaches, audience here. Shravanam Kirtanam. Sometimes neophyte devotee, they think they can continue Shravana Kirtan process without worshipping the deity. But the education of some Shravana Kirtan is meant for highly developed devotee like Haridas Thakur, who engage in this Shravanam Kirtan process. Without worshipping the deity, however, one should not falsely imitate Haridas Thakur to abandon deity worship, to try to engage solely in Shravana Kirtan. This is not possible for neophyte. So neophyte devotees should not. They should do the deity worship also. They should not imitate like Haridas Thakur. The word Guru Prasada indicates that spiritual master is very merciful in bestowing the boon of devotional service upon disciple. That is the best possible gift of spiritual master has to offer. Those with background of past life are eligible to receive the life of supreme benefit. Unless one has a background of life, receive the life of supreme benefit. Unless one has got the background of pious life, without pious life, one cannot receive the life of supreme benefit. To bestow this benefit, Supreme Personality of Godhead sends his representative to impart his mercy. Therefore, it's very rarity. Spiritual piety must be there, not the material piety. There are different piety is there. It is stated by Bhakti Vinod Thakur that in these verses, Bhakti Vinod Thakur say that there are three kind of piety is there. Oh, sorry, 22. Three kind of piety is there. So by good fortune, one become eligible to cross the ocean of nescience. When one's form of material existence decrease, one may get an opportunity to associate with pure devotee. By such association, one's attraction to Krishna is awakened. Bhakti Vinod Thakur explains this point in this Bhagya fortune, the result of an accident or something else. In the scripture, devotional service and pious activity are considered fortunate. Past activity can be divided into three categories. Past activity that awakens one dormant Krishna consciousness are called Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. Past activity that bestow material opulence called Bhoga Unmukhi Sukriti. Past activity that enable the living entity to merge into existence of Supreme are called Moksha Unmukhi Sukriti. These last 2 hours past activity are not actually fortunate. Past activity are fortunate when they help one become Krishna consciousness. The good fortune of Bhakti Unmukhi is attainable only when one becomes when one comes in contact with a devotee. By associating with devotee, willing or unwilling, one advance in devotional service. Thus one Dharma and Krishna consciousness out. So this is called fortunate. So who is fortunate? The fortunate means when is in contact, one who is in contact with one who has accumulated pious activity, that is to awakening Krishna consciousness. Pious activity just like you temple donation, temple charity, associating with devotee, doing some service. In this way, one gain these pious activities to awakening Krishna consciousness or bhakti. So those who have got that, Krishna help them and send the representative to them. And by that process, one can get the Guru Krupa, Krishna Prasada. He sent the bona fide spiritual master to deserving disciple. By the mercy of Krishna, one meets the bona fide spiritual master. And by the mercy of spiritual master, disciple is fully trained in devotional service of the Lord. Bhakti Lata means seed of devotional service. So the seed, original cause, original things will. Then one has to properly water the process. The seed has to be grow. How to grow? By process of hearing and chanting. Hearing and chanting is very, very important. Without hearing chanting, one cannot grow, one cannot advance. Therefore, it is said that first thing is Sravana dasa. A neophyte devotee first hear Sravanam Kirtanam process. Associating devotee means Sravanam Kirtanam. When you hear, he can advance. All his misgivings, all his previous past, contamination will be cleansed. And as one water the Bhaktilata be seed sprouts and the creeper gradually grow to the point where it penetrates the wall of this universe, goes beyond the Viraja river, lying between spiritual world and the material world. It attains Brahmaloko, Brahman effulgence, and penetrating to that stratum, it reaches the spiritual sky and the spiritual planet Golok Vrindavan. So this is the way that when you get the seeds of devotional service and follow the regulative principle of hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna, worshipping the Lord deity. In this way, one can these creepers will grow, 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 and penetrate the material covering and goes to spiritual sky. A creeper generally takes shelter of a big tree, but Bhaktilata, being creeper of spiritual energy, cannot take shelter of any material planet. For there is no tree or any material planet that the Bhakti creeper can utilize for shelter. In other words, devotional service cannot be utilized for any material purpose. Devotional service is meant only for Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes men with poor fund of knowledge maintain that bhakti can be applied to material thing also. In other words, they say that devotional service can be rendered to one's country or to the demigods, but this is not a fact. Devotional service is specially meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is beyond the material realm. There is a river, causal ocean between spiritual and material world. The river is free from the influence of three modes of natural nature. Therefore, it is called Viraja. The prefix V means Vigata, completely eradicated, and Raja or Rajas means influence of material world. On this planet, on this platform, a living entity is completely free from material entanglement. For Gyani who want to merge into Brahman effulgence, there is called Brahmaloko. The Bhaktilata, however, has no shelter in the material world, nor has it shelter in Brahmaloko. Although Brahmaloko is beyond the material world, the Bhaktilata grows until it reaches to spiritual sky, where Golok Vrindavan is situated. So how the Bhaktilata is so powerful? It does not take shelter of anything. It grows and goes beyond the material realm. Being situated in one's heart, being watered by Sravanam Kirtana, the Bhakti creeper grows more and more. This way it attains the shelter of desire tree of lotus feet of Krishna, who is eternally situated in the planet known as Golok Vrindavan, in the topmost region of the sky, spiritual sky. So it grows, grows, and now it touches it reaches the spiritual sky, and topmost planet. There are so many Vaikuntha planets. This material world called Devi Lok. There are after Devi Lok, there is Mahesh Lok, there is Vaikuntha Lok, and Vaikuntha Lok, the topmost Vaikuntha Lok is Golok Vrindavan. So the creeper of devotional service grows and attains the Golok Vrindavan, topmost. And when waters the Bhaktilata be the seed sprout, the creeper gradually goes to the point where it penetrates. The creeper greatly expands in the Golok Vrindavan planet, and there it produces the fruit of love for Krishna. Although remaining in the material world, The gardener regularly sprinkle the creeper with the matter of hearing and chanting. See, always with the water of hearing. What kind of water? How you watering the process? Watering process is hearing and chanting. In Goloka Vrindavan, devotee have very intimate relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead. Devotee engage in the Lord's service in great ecstatic love. Such love was exhibited personally by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his teaching to the people of material world. The fruit of the devotional creeper is pure desire to serve and please the sense of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called love of Godhead. That is the real, fruits of the devotional creeper. And Krishendriya Prativanchadhare Prema Nama. In the spiritual world, one has no desire other than to please the sense of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The conditioned soul within the material world can neither understand nor appreciate how a pure devotee in the material world can render confidential service to the Lord out of feeling of ecstatic love, always engaged in pleasing the Supreme Lord senses. So here it is said that how one can go by process of watering, by hearing and chanting, one can advance and the devotional creeper, make the devotional creeper to go to Goloka Vrindavan and obtain the lotus feet of Krishna. And the result of obtaining pure, the fruits of that creeper is to attain the love of Godhead. Prema Pumartha Mahan. That is the highest goal. Prayojana means perfection. That is the perfection means how to develop the love of Godhead. Savai punsam paro dharma joto bhaktir adhokyat. Jadi Vaishnava अपराध उठे हाथी मता उपदे बा छिंदे तारा सुखी jaya pata. If a devotee commits an offense at the feet of Vaishnava while cultivating the creeper of devotional service in the material world, his offense is compared to a mad elephant that uproots the creeper, breaks it in this way, leaves the creepers at dry. There are impediments. Sometimes what happens when your watering process is going on, hearing, chanting, following regulative principle, what happened that sometimes we deviated path. When you deviate path, that is detrimental to our advancement. One devotional attitude increases in the association of Vaishnava. Tadera charana sevi bhakta sane bas, janame janame hoye ehi abhilas. So, by the personal example, Narottam Das Thakur stresses that devotee must always remember to please his predecessor Acharya. Goswami are represented by one spiritual master. One cannot be an Acharya, spiritual master, without following strictly in disciplic succession of Acharya. Today is Gopal Bhatt Goswami. He is our predecessor Acharya. One who is actually serious about advancing in devotional service should desire only to satisfy the previous Acharya. Echai Gosai Jara Muitara Das. One should always think of oneself as a servant of the Acharya. Thinking this, one should live in the society of Vaishnavas. However, if one thinks that he has become very matured and can live separate from association of Vaishnava, thus gives up all regulative principle due to offending a Vaishnava, one's position becomes very dangerous. Somebody say, I do not care for devotee. I am aloof. I can do myself. No, he is in hallucination. He will start offending the devotee and he will be in a very precarious position. Offenses against the holy name are explained in Adi Lila. So if there are offenses compared to, but um, offenses against this Vaishnava is called mad elephant, which by force uproot the Bhakti Lata, breaks into the pieces. In this way, Bhakti Lata shrivels up. Such an offense is especially created when one disobey the instruction of spiritual master. This is called Guru Abhagya. So therefore, devotee must be careful not to commit offense against the spiritual master by disobeying his instruction. So this is very, very important. Committed offense against the spiritual master means disobeying the instruction of spiritual master. As soon as one is deviated from the instruction of spiritual master, the uprooting of Bhakti Lata begins, and gradually all the leaves dry up. So that is happening. When you are deviating from the instruction of spiritual master, and whatever you have, all the Bhakti Lata, and this Bhakti Lata, the creepers of devotional service will dry up. That is so dangerous position. Therefore, one has to be very careful to carry out the instruction of spiritual master very rigidly. The gardener must defend creeper by fencing it all round so that powerful elephant of offense may not enter. So therefore, we have to fence. The neophyte devotee must be protected by being surrounded by pure devotee. How you make a fence? You have to be surrounded by the pure devotees. In this way, he will not give the maddened elephant to chance to uproot his bhakti kripa. So when you are associated with devotees, when you are surrounded by the advanced devotee or pure devotee, then you are fencing your garden of bhakti. So no mad elephant can have a chance to uproot our bhakti kripa. When you associate with non-devotee, the maddened elephant set loose. That is very, very important. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that Vaishnavara Achara means sadhu sangha. First principle of Vaishnava is that sadhu sangha tyaga. We should give up the non-devotee association. Asatsanga tyaga. A Vaishnavacharya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Asatsanga tyaga a Vaishnavacharya. First business of a Vaishnava is to give up the company of non-devotee. A so-called mature devotee, however, commits a great offense by giving up the company of pure devotee. Human being is a social animal. If one gives up the society pure devotee, he must associate with non-devotee. By contacting non-devotee, engaging in non-devotional activity, the so-called mature devotee will fall victim to the mad elephant. See, we are social animal. We have to associate. Either we associate with non-devotee or devotee. We have to associate. But when one is giving up the asatsanga tyaga, then one has to associate with. When you give up the satsanga, then you have to associate with asatsanga. Then the mad elephant offense started. Therefore, one should be very careful to defend the creeper by fencing in, that is by following the regulative principle associating with pure. How we can fence our garden? By following the regulative principle and associating with devotee. Even if one thinks that there are many pseudo devotee or non-devotee in Krishna conscious society, still one should stick to the society. If one thinks the society's members are not pure devotee, one can keep direct company with spiritual master. If there is any doubt, one should consult the spiritual master. However, unless one follows the spiritual master instruction concerning the regulative principle, chanting and hearing holy name of the Lord, one cannot become pure devotee. By one's mental concussion, one falls down. By associating with non-devotee, one breaks the regulative principle, is thereby lost. In the Upadesa Amrita Sila Goswami say, Atyahara Prasasya Jalpa Niyama Graha Janasangschalolyam Sasadvir Bhaktir Vinasati. When devotional service is spoiled, one he becomes too entangled in the following six activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more fund than required, over endeavoring for mundane things and that are very difficult to attain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matter, practicing the spiritual rule and regulation only for the sake of following them, not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting rules and regulation, the scripture, and working independently or whimsically, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, being greedy for mundane achievement. Lowlium means mundane achievement. So these are very important lessons how to advance in spiritual life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu addressing to Rupa Goswami, and this is the basic principle of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, nectar of devotion books. Sometimes unwanted creeper as the creepers of desire for material enjoyment, liberation from material world grows along with the creeper of devotional service. The varieties of such unwanted creepers are unlimited. So sometimes along with the creepers, some other creepers grows, liberation, material enjoyment. These are very unwanted creepers. What are the unwanted creepers? Nisidachara kuto niti jiva hinsana labha puja pratishtadi jatas upasakagana. So these are some unnecessary creepers. Some unnecessary creepers growing with the bhakti creeper are creepers of behavior unacceptable for those trying to attain perfection. Diplomatic behavior, animal killing, mundane profiteering, mundane adoration, mundane importance. All these are unwanted creepers. So Prabhupada writing that a certain pattern of behavior prescribed for those who are actually trying to become perfect. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we advise our students not to eat meat, not to gamble, not to engage in illicit sex, not to indulge in intoxication. People who indulge in this activity never become perfect. Therefore, these regulative principles are for those interested in becoming perfect, going back to Godhead. Kutinati, a diplomatic behavior, cannot satisfy the Atma, the soul. It cannot even satisfy the body or the mind. A culprit mind is always suspicious. Therefore, our dealings should always be straightforward, approved by Vedic authority. If we treat people diplomatically, dupliciously, advancement is obstructed. Very important point. You should not be diplomatically and dupliciously treat people. Then our spiritual advancement is obstructed. Jivansa refers to the killing animals or envy of other living entities. That is Jivahinsa. Killing a poor animal is undoubtedly due to envy of those animals. Human form is meant for the understanding of Krishna consciousness, Tata Brahma Jigyasa, for inquiring about the Supreme Brahman. In the human form, everyone has a chance to understand the Supreme Brahman. So-called leader of human society do not know the real of human life and are therefore busy with economic development. This is misleading. Every state, every society is busy trying to improve the quality of eating, sleeping, mating, defending. This human form of life meant for more than these four animal principles. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending are problem found in the animal kingdom, and the animals have solved this problem without difficulty. Why should human society be so busy trying to solve this problem? The difficulty is that people are not educated to understand this simple philosophy. They think that advancement of civilization means increasing the sense gratification. So this is the thing, Jiva. Real knowledge is not given by religionists, misled the general populace. One should be very careful to avoid all these unwanted things. Sometimes these unwanted creepers look exactly like Bhakti creeper. They appear to be of same size, the same species when they are packed together, Bhakti creeper. But in spite of this, creepers are called Upasaka. A pure devotee can distinguish between the Bhakti creeper and the mundane creeper. It's very alert to distinguish them, keep them separate. So these are called all the unnecessary creepers that will obstruct our bhakti. If one does not distinguish between bhakti creeper and other creeper, the sprinkling of water is misused because of other creepers are nourished while bhakti creeper is curtailed. So when watering, you will be watering this unnecessary creepers, and the water to bhakti creeper is curtailed. If one chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra while committing offense, this unwanted creeper will grow. One should not take advantage of chanting Hare Krishna mantra for some material profit, as mentioned in verse. The unwanted creepers have been described in Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. He states that if one hears and chant without trying to give up offense, one becomes materially attached to the sense gratification. One may also desire freedom from material bondage like Mayavadi, or one may become attached to Yogya Siddhi and desire for wonderful yogic process. If one is attached to wonderful material activity, one is called Siddhi Lobby, greedy for material perfection. One may also be victimized by diplomatic crooked behavior. One may associate with women for illicit sex. One may make a show of devotional service like Prakata Sahaja, or may try to support his philosophy by joining some caste or identifying himself with a certain dynasty, claiming a monopoly on spiritual advancement. Thus, with the support of family tradition, one may become pseudo guru or so called spiritual master. One may become attached to the four sinful activity, illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, meat eating. Or one may consider a Vaishnava to belong to a mundane caste or creed. One may think this is Hindu Vaishnava, this European Vaishnava are not allowed to enter the temple. In other words, one may consider Vaishnava in terms of birth, thinking one a Brahmana Vaishnava, another a Sudra, Mleccha Vaishnava, so on. So this is very, very important point. That is how the unwanted creeper will make you bewilder us. As soon as intelligent devotees sees an unwanted creeper going beside the original keeper, he must cut it down instantly. Then real keeper Bhaktilata grows nicely, return home back to Godhead, and seek shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna. If one is misled by unwanted keeper and is victimized, he cannot make progress back to God. Rather, he remains within the material world and engage in activity having nothing to do with pure devotional service. Such a person may be elevated to higher planetary system, but because he remains within material world, subject to the threefold of material. So one can may doing devotional services, all kind of unwanted things. Then he may elevate it to because of devotional services, doing some chanting with offenses. Still, because he is chanting, he can go back to upper planetary system. But he cannot get the go back to Godhead. He cannot get the love. When a fruit of devotional service becomes ripe and falls down, the gardener tastes the fruit, thus makes the advancements of creeper, reaches the desired tree of lotus feet of Krishna. There the devotee serves the lotus feet of the Lord, which are compared to wish fulfilling tree. With great bliss, he tastes the juice of the fruit of love and become eternally happy. To taste the fruit of devotional service in Goloka Vrindavan is the highest perfection of life. In the presence of such perfection, the four material perfection, religion, economic development, sense gratification, liberation are very insignificant actually. So when you get the love of Godhead, then all other things are insignificant. As long as there is not a slightest fragrance of pure love of Krishna, which is perfect medical herb for controlling Lord Krishna within the heart, opulence of material perfection known as Siddhi or Brahminical perfection, Satya, Sama, Titikya, the trance of yogis, monastic bliss, Brahman, all seems wonderful for me. Unless one pure love of God comes, other things are like very good. The Siddhi, Karma, all the things. But once you get pure devotional service, when one is situated in pure devotional service, he develops love of Godhead. Therefore, let me describe some symptoms of pure devotional service. So here it is, there is symptoms of pure devotional service. Annavilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anarbitam anukulyana krishnanushilanam bhakti. So when first class devotional service develop, one must be devoid of all material desire, knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy, purity action. Devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desire. So these are symptoms. That is the way we should advance. That how we advance in spiritual life. And we come to the stage of pure love of Godhead. And the symptoms is that pure devotee must not cherish any desire other than to serve Krishna. He should not offer worship to the demigods or to mundane personality. He should not cultivate artificial knowledge. He is devoid of Krishna consciousness. He should not engage himself in anything other than Krishna conscious activity. One must engage all one's purified sense in the service of the Lord. This is called favorable execution of Krishna conscious activity. This activity called Suddha Bhakta, pure devotional service. If one renders such pure devotional service, he develops his original love for Krishna in due course of time. Vedic literature like Pancharatra, Srimad Bhagavatam, the symptoms are described. So these are the symptoms one is got thing. So bhakti or devotional service means engaging all senses in the service of the Lord. Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of all sense. When spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designation, one's sense are purified simply by being employed in the service. So these are the things that how one can advance. So how the rarity of human life, that after so many labda sudallamam idam bahusambhav, after many evolution process, one get the rare of human form of life. Out of this human form of life, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that there are uncivilized, civilized. Out of civilized, there are karmis. Most of them are karmis. They are very rarely jnani. Out of jnani, there is very rarely mukti, who want liberation from this material existence, painful material existence. Then out of many mukti, one is devotee. So the rarity of devotees. So how to become a devotee, pure devotee? That is process also given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami write the book called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. He told that by wandering so many lifetimes from different species, one come to the human form of life and come in contact with a pure devotee by the mercy of Krishna. And one come in touch with pure devotees of the Lord, one get the seeds of devotional service. That seeds can be grown. He can develop that seeds can grow by the process of watering. Watering process means hearing and chanting. Sravanam Kirtanam. So therefore, we need the devotee association. With devotee association, only the watering process can be possible. Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Devotee association means Satang Prasangam Mama Virya Sambinda. A process of devotee association. Tadera Charana Sevi Bhakta Saneba. So sadhu sangha is very important. So in this way, the creepers of devotional service grows and penetrate this material planet and goes to spiritual sky, goes to the lotus feet of the Lord, and bear the fruits of love of Godhead. That is called prema. That is the highest perfection. But there are impediments, as Mahaprabhu stated. What are the impediments? Offenses, particularly offense against the holy name, offense against the Vaishnava is called mad elephant. It will uproot. Therefore, you have to fence by the association with devotee following the regulative principle of the Acharya. Also, there are other type of impediments where the different creepers are grows, like diplomatic behavior, some objectionable behavior which obstruct our bhakti. That also you have to be very careful. You have to distinguish and uproot that unwanted creepers. And if you do that, then we can come to the stage of pure love of Godhead. The symptoms is given that when you pure devotee, how you know that you have got this pure love of God, pure love of Godhead. There is no anartha, no unwanted creeper obstructing. Then one come to the anyaya vilasita sunyam, jnana karmadi anarvitam. There is nothing but Krishna only. Anya avilasa, no material things, no jnana, no karma. Simply bhakti, render devotional service to Krishna favorably, under the guidance of a spiritual master, Krishnanusilanam, using our all senses in the service of Krishna. Husikena husikesa sevanam bhakti. Then we know, understand the symptoms also there. Otherwise, somebody may claim that, oh, now I have reached the pure love of Godhead, high stage. No, there has to be symptoms. The process is there, symptoms is also there. Not that anybody can whimsically or falsely claim I have reached the things. Actually, there's a symptoms. We should see the symptoms. So in this way, one can advance in spiritual life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami had written the Nectar of Devotion, where he classified as a sadhana bhakti. He has explained it very systematically and elaborately. Nectar of Devotion, sadhana bhakti, you have to do the practice of devotional service by hearing, chanting, all this sadhana bhakti. Then you can grow to the bhava bhakti, raga, prema bhakti. In this way, one can come to the highest stage of highest perfection of life. So thank you very much. This is the way to advance in spiritual life. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.